So today we'll be taking a look at a scenario where Andalusia from Addis Pro's Wicso was real. Now Andalusia, this is Andalusia at peak in Addis Pro's Wicso, straight out of episode 29 from pre-World War II. They were a very strong nation and a very influential one. So in this video we'll be taking a look at a scenario where they were real and they tried to go around the world and take multiple nations, countries and conquer the world. And we'll go straight to Andalusia's first target, which is in Europe in their mainland, and it's none other than Portugal, which has been pretty heavily devastated by Andalusia becoming a thing. So let's just say that they will not have much hope against Andalusia. They will quickly lose Lisbon, their capital, and from there Andalusia will have a very easy defeat of Portugal. So let's see this peace treaty. So as you can see in this peace treaty, Andalusia has fully annexed Portugal and they will waste no time and go straight to their next target, which is Spain. Now Spain, similar to Portugal, also has lost a lot of land and a lot of power by Andalusia coming in here, so they will quickly seize Madrid and from there take their little panhandle from Portugal, and from there sweep across Spain. They take their islands in here, and from here they march up north where they meet instability in the Galician and Catalonian regions that will side with Andalusia just to piss off the Spanish government, which would lead to them retreating towards Catalonia, which wasn't the best of moves because now Catalonia will come in and surrender over to Andalusia. So let's see this next peace treaty. So as you can see in this peace treaty, Andalusia also fully annexed Spain, taking all their land, and now it controls all of the Iberian Peninsula, and they have completed one part of their task, the second one being Africa. And it is here that they will invade more countries. More exactly, they will attack a lot of these countries like Chad, Niger, Mauritania, Gabon and the Republic of Congo, which it has already taken a lot of land from. So this war will go by pretty quickly. Immediately Andalusian forces will march straight into Mauritania, moving across this country and capitulating it, followed shortly by its neighbor, which will also fall very quickly. Now these guys are literal desert, so they will fall in like 24 hours or something. And as for Gabon and the Republic of Congo, they will resist a little more, but compared with what's basically the entire Central Africa, they just can't do a pushback. So as you can see in this peace treaty, Andalusia has taken over all these nations and now it's starting to encompass a large portion of Africa as if it didn't already, and now they will go to their last step, which is South America. Here in South America they will invade Guyana, Suriname and Peru. Immediately Andalusian troops will storm Peru and take the entirety of that hopeless nation, and going to Guyana and Suriname it would be another easy defeat by Andalusia, which again it's encompassing a large portion of Africa, South America and Iberia in Europe. So yeah, good luck fighting for that. In this another peace treaty, we see that Andalusia has taken out these nations with Peru, Guyana and Suriname, and now they pretty much took all the nations that they have damaged by taking their land. So now they will go for new targets, but still sort of not new because they already took land from these guys, but not as much to affect them as much. So going back to Africa, they will declare war on the Congo and Algeria. The first front to be fought is the Congo front, with Andalusian forces quickly taking the Congolese coastal axis, followed by them moving across the territories that they just took from them when Andalusia appeared on the map. And by now Congo is starting to lose and has little to no defense up to it. They'll keep advancing through here, but now let's jump over to the Algerian front. It's mostly much of the same, with Andalusian forces moving through the deserty parts of Algeria, which really only have oil, so there is not many troops here at all. And by now Andalusia will have little to no defenses. That's until the Algerian armies finally arrive, and because Algeria isn't the weakest of African nations, it will sweep across these lands, quickly pushing back Andalusia and move through these lands, almost meeting the original border, which they eventually do on some fronts, and even start to advance into their territory, making some spearheads here, taking some land. But by now Andalusia has also moved its forces back. Immediately Andalusia will sweep across these lands they just took, move through these lands and pushing Algeria out. But now let's go to the Congo front. Congo has seen a lot of success on their front with Andalusia since the Andalusians have went to fight Algeria and end up pushing them out almost completely, but not this little part of their nation. But now with the almost fall of Algeria, we see Andalusia going back in, retaking their land, and this front is quickly restabled in Andalusia's favor, and this time is going way worse for the Congo, because Congo is like even weaker, they lost even more land, and Andalusia is sending their main forces here to take out the weak guy before they focus on the big one, which is Algeria. Advancements are made throughout here, encircling some troops there, some divisions that are killed, and from there Congo basically has no hope. Somehow, some way they managed to do some pushbacks here because they basically retreated all their troops, but it doesn't last long at all. And guess what, immediately Andalusia will sweep across Congo, and now this country is gone. Back on the Algerian front, it doesn't look good at all for Algeria, as now all the troops from the Congo are now going towards Algeria, hoping to take this nation out. And after a little while and the sweep across the oil deserts of Algeria, they basically remain only with their actual valuable stuff up here in the north that is just simply not stable enough. They will also meet some landings in the north from their Iberian lands, and because of this Algeria will fall. As you can see in this massive peace treaty, Andalusia has fully annexed the Congo and Algeria, and by now they almost rule all of Africa, so they will go for their next target, which is Morocco with Western Sahara. And already with all their armies being in here, they are already stationed here, and yeah, the USA will try to speak up against Andalusia's actions in Morocco, but guess what, they do not care. They just go in and sweep across this nation. So as you can see in this peace treaty, Andalusia has fully annexed Morocco and Western Sahara, and now their empire is starting to become very big, and it's starting to stretch throughout all of Africa, and by now basically half of the continent is under their possession. But now they will go back to South America because they feel like they should do one more quest here, and this quest is a pretty unfortunate one, and it's invading Brazil, because they felt like, you know, they were damaged, they were harmless, they thought that this would be an easy fight, but it wouldn't be, as also France joins, and now Andalusia truly has a very big war to fight with France and Brazil, which hasn't really even been hurt that much. Andalusia will start moving slowly across these territories of Brazil. They did not expect to meet that many armies, and it tried to advance into French Guiana, but they failed miserably, and now they will get their pushback, as immediately Brazil pushes across all these territories they have just occupied, and alongside with France they will fully kick them out of these territories and now start to advance in their territories. Now Brazil will move across these territories that they once used to own, not going really in the Amazon rainforest because that area is very hard to invade, but they invade throughout these parts and into Peru, and now Andalusia's aggressive expansion is now showing its cracks because we are seeing that all this rapid expansion and lack of assimilation, also lack of knowledge of the world of Andalusia, is just leading to their defeat as Brazil just moves across these territories like it's nothing. Making it worse enough, France basically just sweeps across the Guianas and it's now starting to advance into the Venezuelan regions, and to be honest, there is really little to no Andalusian presence in the Amazon rainforest at the very least, so this region is already basically won by France and Brazil, and they will basically move across these parts rapidly, and already Andalusia has starting to see its mild collapse. In Europe, Andalusia didn't expect at all to be attacked by anybody. They thought they were chill with all the countries and they thought that, you know, people will just leave them out of Europe and they could just focus on their colonies. But it turns out this was truly false, because now France is invading them and taking a lot of land, and already Andalusia had all their troops outside in their colonies in Brazil, because they put quite a lot of troops in Brazil even though they thought they were gonna be weak and an easy target. But now France sweeps across their territory with them not being able to do anything really. Going over to Africa, we'll see something terrible happening for Andalusia as a lot of rebellions happen throughout the continent, which is similar to the March of the Colonized that happened in Addis Pro's Wicso back in World War II, but this one is like even worse. This one is basically all of Africa because, well, the Dark Sign team or Andalusia controls all of Africa, and eventually all the Congo will rebel away, similar to the instability issues. Something similar will happen with Algeria and with Morocco, as these regions were very recently annexed, and basically this pile of land in the Sahara isn't even important. And as for the Algerian territories, they'll just get taken by the rebellions, and the only territory that the Dark Sign team or Andalusia keeps control of is the Gibraltar Strait. Now similar stuff will happen in South America, where basically Brazil and France just walk across the continent. They just fully ran it over with troops. They just went and just took everything. And now we see that the Dark Sign team has no colonial possessions other than the Gibraltar Strait, which won't last long. Now France will also quickly move troops into the Galician region, which, as it had instability with Spain, also had with Andalusia, and now Andalusia will get pushed back to its origins. France will seize the Gibraltar Strait, from there make a landing into the south of Andalusia. They meet all the front lines and from there start to push Andalusia towards its capital. They get all the way here and then the capital falls. And with this, Andalusia has seen complete defeat. And I don't think I need to do a peace treaty, do I? You know, I think I should. This is the peace treaty. So Andalusia no longer exists, and basically all of the countries it ate up, all of the territories it had, they just went back to their original owners. all of South America, all of Africa, and all of Europe is back to normal, and the world is once again a happy place. And with this, we end today's video. I hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and like to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.